viewer, welcome to Silent Communication. This is whereby we'll be learning sign language. Our main objective of coming up with this program is to help our dear brothers and sisters who cannot understand the three angels' message. So let's try and learn so that we can aid our brothers and sisters to understand more about the Bible. Welcome. In this program, we'll have the fundamental issues on signing. Then, we learn the basic communication guidelines. Number 3, we'll know how to sign letters of alphabet. Another thing which we learn in this program is different vocabularies in sign language. Also, we'll come up with grammar and sentence structure in sign language. Now, let us understand what is sign language. Sign language is a visual, gestural, manual symbols representing ideas and concepts. So we can say sign language is a visual gestural language that uses manual symbols to represent ideas and concepts. What you have to know is sign language is different. Each country have their own sign language. Why? You remember we said it represents ideas and concept. So we have Kenyan Sign Language, that is KSL. We have Ugandan Sign Language. We have American Sign Language and etc. In this program, we'll be learning Kenyan Sign Language, that is KSL in short. We have some terms which we'll be using in these lessons. For example, we have finger spelling. Finger spelling, that is the sign for finger spelling, or manual alphabet. These are systems which aids sign language, whereby it represents all letters of alphabet using the fingers. Now, let us know what sign language is involved with. We have non-manual features which are very essential in sign language. When we are talking about non-manual features, we are talking about the facial expression, body language. This will aid to give the mood of the signing. Also, it will give the mood of the speaker or the sentence. When communicating, we have two skills which are very essential. That is receptive and expressive. When we are talking about receptive skills, this is whereby you have to understand what a person is signing. That is like listening. And then we have expressive skills. These are skills whereby you have to know how to express yourself in sign language. That is speaking. Another thing which is a point to note is we learn on grammar. Remember, sign language is a language like any other language. It has its own sentence structure. For example, like Kiswahili, English. With English, we have subject, verb, object. But with Kenyan Sign Language, we have subject, object, verb. So when we are changing any sentence from English to Kenyan Sign Language, you have to come up with a different sentence structure. Also, we have said sign language is a language like any other language. So it has its own way of coming up with pluralization. For example, in English, when we have a plural word, we have to add es. With sign language, we have repetition of a sign, that is called reduplication of a sign. That sign is the target sign, the sign that you want to make pluralization. For example, we have child. This is a sign for child. When you are coming up with pluralization, you will replicate the sign, the target sign. Then that will be children. Child, 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 children. Also, with sign language, it has been characterized by what is known as elements of signing. When we talk about elements of signing, it means when you are coming up with a sign, you have to make sure it has 4 elements. That is the hand shape. When you are talking about the hand shape, it means anytime you're coming up with a sign, you have to come up with the hand shape. Number 2, we have the place of articulation. Yes, you have the hand shape. And this hand shape, where do you put that hand shape? So where you put that hand shape is the place of articulation. Number 3, we are talking about orientation. Orientation is where you are putting the sign. Maybe, for example, in relation to the person who is signing. It can be on the person who is signing or away from the person who is signing. Number 4, we are talking about movement. When we talk about movement, it means how is that sign moving? Is it clockwise, anti-clockwise, circular, upwards, downwards, or left or right? So I want to give you an example of how you can apply those elements. A word like please. Please. It is an open palm. Open palm. On the chest, that is the place of articulation. On the signer, that is orientation, because it's on the person who is signing. Then, please. It is moving circular. So anytime we are coming up with the sign, you have to make sure it has the 4 elements of signing. So the word please, open palm, chest is the place of articulation, anti-clockwise or clockwise, that is the movement, and then on the signer, that is the orientation. Make sure anytime you are signing, you observe the 4 elements. Kindly don't forget about the 4 elements. another sign whereby I will represent using the 4 element is sorry. That is sign for sorry. Sorry. This letter S, or a fist, that is the hand shape. On the signer orientation, at the chest, place of articulation, movement, circular or anti-clockwise. That is sorry, sorry. NB, what you have to note, anytime you change the elements, you change the meaning of what you are signing. You have seen we have sorry, please. Same place of articulation, same orientation, different hand shape. It gives you a different meaning of the word that you are signing. Welcome back. And now we have to know the do's and the don'ts. So we'll start with the do's. How do we communicate with deaf brothers and sisters? The first thing, when you want any attention, what do? You have to gently tap where? On the shoulder. On the shoulder, gently. You understand by the word gently. I said gently. Number 2, if the person you want to communicate with is beyond reach, what do? You have to wave. You do what? You wave your hands. So when you wave, the deaf individual will look sideways and she or he will see you. At no any time should you take anything like a stone you throw to that individual deaf person. Or what you can do when you are in a room, you switch off and on the lights. Another thing you have to do when you are communicating, you try to make sure you are near that individual at a distance where you can communicate well. Now we have to know the don'ts. Do not touch any deaf person in any part of her or his body apart from the shoulders. If you touch any part of the body, it means it's an abuse. To the deaf community, it is an abuse. Don't use a fist to get attention. Kindly use your open palm and tap the shoulders. Don't stand against the lights. Don't pass in between two deaf individuals when they are communicating. Don't stand too close with that individual person you are communicating with. It should be a distance of 2 meters to. Do not sign with hands full of objects. For example, you are signing with your pen. Now, with sign language, Your mouth is your hands, and your ears is your eyes. So remember, when you sign with hands full of object, it's like you are talking with food full in your mouth. So kindly make sure anytime you are signing, your hands are free. Never and ever should you chew when signing. Why? When we are communicating in sign language, we have what we call lip reading. Lip reading is whereby a deaf individual will look at your mouth, inclusion of the hands, then he understands what you're talking about. And we have other deaf who don't understand sign language. What they do, they use lip reading. Never, when you are signing, stand in a dark place or in a dark spot. Why? We have said we are using our eyes to hear. So anytime you are in a dark position, we cannot clearly see your signs. When you don't adhere to these don'ts, that is when you will hear the myth that the deaf people are high-tempered. Why? Because you do things against their will. As we continue, you'll find time to discuss the importance of sign language at your own free time. The next topic that we want to learn is the letters of alphabet. The letters of alphabet. That is the sign for letters of alphabet. When you do this, this is sign for letters of alphabet. So when I tell you finger spell your name, you have to know all letters of alphabet. The 26 letters of alphabet. We will start A. That is letter A. Kindly is a humble request. When I'm signing, when I tell you it is your turn, dear viewer, you do according to what I have done. So we'll start. A. That is A. It is your turn now. A. A. Remember, we said sign language is a language like any other language. So you have to practice. Let's go together. A. A. This is letter B. 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 Together. B. B. C. 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 Together. C. C. D. 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 Together. D. D. E. 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 Aha. Together. E. E. Good students. So we start from A to E. Together. A, B, C, D, E. We go on. F, F, G, G. Together. G. H. H. Together, H. H. I. I. Together, I. I. J. J. Together, J. Again, A to J. A. B. C. D. E. F. G. H. I. J. K. That is letter K. Together, K. L. L. Together, L. M. M. Together, M. N. N. Together, N. So we go from A to N together. A. B. C. D. E. F. G. H. I. J. K. L. M. M. Three fingers. M. N. 2. N. I will continue. O. That is letter O. P. We do it together. P. This was K. Inverted K is P. P. Q. This was G. Then Q. R. R. S. S. Others will do S. That is a variation. S. T. T. Together, T. U. U. Together, U. V. V. Together, V. W. W. 1, 2, 3. W. That's a W. 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 X. That is an X. X. Together, X. Y. 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 Z. 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 So, A to Z. A. B. C. D. E. F. G. H. I. J. K. L. M. N. O. P. Q. R. S. T. U. V. W. X. Y. Z. I hope you have enjoyed sign language class. Let's meet at that time, same place. Thank you.